Before we start the video, I want to tell you guys a story when there was a studio who no one cared about. Then they worked hard and dropped this small game called Uncharted, which was a major breakout hit. And what do you think they did next? In a span of 4 to 5 years, they dropped 2 more games which finished the trilogy of the Uncharted series. Then they decided, you know what, we want to work on something different, something more cinematic, which would basically influence the entire PlayStation studios in coming years. So after 2 years, they released this game which I don't know if you guys heard about it. It was called The Last of Us and it was a major hit. Even though games which focus heavily on story existed before The Last of Us, but nothing came close to it because this game was done so impeccably. The story, the acting, the soundtrack, the vibe, the gameplay. It was pretty much flawless and it was loved by everyone. So after the success of this game, Sony realized that this is what people love. And this is when PlayStation Studios decided that all of their games are gonna be peak cinema. Uncharted 4, Ghost of Tsushima, God of War, Spider-Man, Horizon, Days Gone, you guys get the idea. Everyone wanted to make movies from now on, and they were great at it until this one game which was called The Last of Us Part 2 released. So I want to discuss why I think that Last of Us Part 2 is the biggest Sony game ever above all the IPs even after 6 years of its release. Now, I'm not here to talk about how good or how bad the game is. That's not why we are here. So sit back and relax, maybe eat something, and without any further ado, let's get into it. While most people thought that the story was over by the end of part 1, it was clear that they left the end for a potential sequel, and soon after the release of Uncharted 4, they decided to reveal The Last of Us Part 2 in December 2016 at PlayStation Experience, where the camera slowly panned out and showed the Firefly logo and revealed an older Ellie playing a guitar while Joel approaches her. It was at this moment the fans lost their minds. Soon after the trailer, the fans were looking at every frame for any sort of clue or hint about what the game could be about, even though it was clear that it would be related to revenge because of what Ellie says.
I'm gonna find, and I'm gonna kill every last one of them.
A lot of fans also speculated that Joel will die and that Ellie was just imagining him in that trailer. Even I was 99% sure that Joel would die, but I just didn't want to accept that. Soon after a while, they revealed another trailer which showcased an entire new character, whose name was Abby, and many fans theorized that this could be Ellie's mother. Oh boy, only if they knew. And after a while, Sony decided to showcase a gameplay trailer which showcased the technical aspects of the game. People were blown away how good this game looked, and we also got a release date for February 2026. But this didn't last long. The game was delayed again to May, and then delayed again indefinitely until in late April of 2026, the internet was shocked when some guy decided to leak a major spoiler and some gameplay information, where he released a scene in which Joel dies, and the gameplay information was that woman who people speculated as Ellie's mother is the one who kills Joel. And if that wasn't enough, after halfway through the game you actually play as her. After seeing this, the fans were outraged, with many people cancelling their pre-orders, and the internet was full of reactions.
안 간다. 등신 게임.
Some blamed that a disgruntled employee who was sick of the crunch at Naughty Dog decided to leak this, but it was confirmed that it wasn't true. Then some called the game woke and so many other things. Overall, fans were not happy watching Joel die, and while this was happening, some fake spoilers were also released stating that Ellie also dies by the end of the game and that Abby is the new main character. Even though this was fake, but the damage was already done. Last of Us Part 2 went from the most anticipated game to the most hated game in the span of 1 week. To control the damage, Sony decided to drop the game as soon as possible and decided that June 19, 2020 would be the date. I'm sure that solved everything, right? When Last of Us Part 2 was released, it was a technical marvel with cutting edge graphics which blurred the lines between games and reality, the brutal yet satisfying combat, the advanced enemy AI which reacted so realistically, and lastly the sound design which was exceptionally designed. So the launch was great and people loved this game, right? You wish. While people praised the technical aspects, the narrative part received so much criticism. The fan base was split and people absolutely hated this game. There was so much hate that fans were sending death threats to the actors and developers of the game, and overall this game became so controversial and hated among the fans. Some people hated it without even playing the game, others hated it because they didn't want to look past Joel's death, including me when I first played the game. But one thing is for sure, that even with so much criticism, Naughty Dog tried to do something different. No other game ever killed your favorite character and made you play as the person who killed him. Hate it or love it, but in today's world where everything has to be a safe sequel or a lazy release, Naughty Dog took risk and decided to do things differently. On the bright side, there were a lot of people who did love the game, and the game went on to winning the Game of the Year award despite its controversial release. It's been 6 years since Part 2's release, and fans have been asking for a Part 3 non-stop, but all they have done is remake the first part and remaster the second part, and re-release both the parts in a bundle. Fucking great. Neil Druckmann also stated in an interview a couple of years ago that he had no plans for a Part 3, but recently he wrote down an outline and that he thinks there is probably one last chapter left. They also made a TV show which has 2 seasons where season 1 was decent but season 2 was... actually, let's not talk about that. Like I said earlier, I'm not here to discuss if the game is good or bad. What I'm trying to say is that Last of Us Part 1 brought such a big change in how PlayStation Studios make their games. Without Last of Us, I doubt they would have doubled down into making big cinematic games as God of War, Ghost of Tsushima, and pretty much all the PlayStation exclusives. And the anticipation for the launch of Part 2 was so damn huge, fans were losing their minds, the hype was unreal, and the controversy when the game got leaked, Part 2 was on spotlight for the entire 2 months. Everyone was talking about it non-stop. I haven't seen any game get this big of a coverage non-stop for months. Most importantly, while Ubisoft is releasing trash, PlayStation Studios keeps releasing the same safe sequels again and again, and Cyberpunk 2077 being a total mess at launch, Last of Us 2 delivered a full functioning game with state-of-the-art optimization. And like I said about safe sequels, Naughty Dog did something different. The dual narrative idea of you playing as the villain halfway through the game is brilliant that no studio even to this day has tried to do. I'm not a big fan of the story, I like it, but I'm not head over heels for it. But I do agree that they tried doing something different. Even if it's not your cup of tea, they innovated storytelling and they deserve props for that. And despite all the controversies, the game has won over 300 awards, sold between 12 to 18 million copies, and people are eagerly waiting for a Part 3. So if you take this into consideration, they must have done something right. We need more of that. We need developers to take risks, do something different, rather than doing the same thing again and again just to chase money. And trust me, when Last of Us 3 drops, people are gonna be hyped, and I'm certain it will be huge. And that's why I believe The Last of Us is Sony's biggest cash cow and the biggest franchise ever. So that's it for today guys. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think, and if you want more gaming videos like this, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.